Hey guys, this is Unit 2, Formative 1, Day 1. Okay, so it's an intro to inequalities. Okay, when we talk about inequalities, these are the signs that we use. We have the less than sign, the greater than sign, less than or equal to, and the greater than or equal to. Okay, so you've seen these before. I expect that you memorize these and that you'll know how to use them when you come to class. Okay, the first one says x is less than 5. So if we write that in words, that's just like how we say it. X is less than 5. Okay, we can also graph this thing, and when we graph it, we can draw our number line here and put our 0 in the middle. And I'm going to put my 5 on the right side because that's where it is on our number line. And then, since it's just less than and not less than or equal to, I'm going to put an open circle and shade to the left because everything to the left is what is less than. So we'll have a graph that looks like this. And then the last thing we want to do is write this in interval notation. And we write something in interval notation, we write it using the endpoint. So in this graph, our left side is at negative infinity, okay, and our right side is at 5, okay. And also I'm going to put positive infinity out here just so you know what that is. And so the interval notation, on ours, it's going to go from negative infinity to 5, separate those by a comma, and then since it's not quite getting to 5, it's everything that's less than but not quite equal to, we're going to put an open, or a parentheses there, and since it'll never get to negative infinity, also put a parentheses on that side. So I have parentheses, negative infinity, comma, 5. Okay, number 2 says m is greater than or equal to negative 3. So again, if we write that out in words, it's just m is greater than or equal to negative 3, just like it sounds. And then if we graph it, draw our number line again, stick your 0 in there, your negative 3. Again, negative 3 is to the left of 0. Okay, and this one's greater than or equal to, so I'm going to put a closed dot and then shade to the right because I want greater than. Okay, so we have a graph that looks like this, and then our interval notation. Okay, we want to think about our end points again. So we have negative 3 here, and then positive infinity. Remember, positive infinity is out here. Okay, so that's what we're going towards. And this time we did get to 3, so I'm going to put a bracket instead of a parentheses, but we're not quite getting to infinity because you never can. So I'll put a parentheses there. So you'll have bracket negative 3, comma, infinity, parenthesis. Okay, number 3 says 5 is less than x, so this time we're giving it in words, so let's write it out using our notation. So we have 5 is less than x, and then we want to graph this, so we'll draw a number line, put our 0 in there and our 5. Okay, this is just less than, no equal to, so we're just going to have an open dot. And this one's a little bit tricky because it says 5 is less than x, so actually what we're looking for to shade is our x. So since 5 is less than x, we want to shade everything that is greater than 5 because that is what it is saying. So you can almost flip this around. So if I were to flip it around and look at it going this way, it says x is greater than 5. So that might be another way to look at this one. So we're actually going to shade to our right. Okay, because that's where all the x's that are greater than 5 are since 5 is less than all of our x's. That's what it's going to look like. Okay, if we write it in interval notation, here our endpoints again are 5 and infinity. Put a comma between those. Do we reach 5? Not quite, since it's open, and we can never reach infinity, so we'll have parenthesis 5, comma, infinity, parenthesis, like that. Okay, p is greater than or equal to 4. So this one, again, we're giving it in words, so let's write it using our notation, using our symbols. So we have p is greater than or equal to 4. Okay, we can graph this thing, draw our number line again, put our 0 and our 4 in there. Okay, this one, since it's greater than or equal to, that means a closed dot. So I'm going to shade in my dot here at 4. And then we want all the values that are greater than or equal to 4, which means it's to the right. Okay, number 5 is a little bit different. We're given the graph, and now we want to, first let's write this out in using our notation. Okay, So we have an open circle, so we know it's going to either be just less than or greater than. And we're also seeing that this is at 1. Okay, so it looks to me like this is all the numbers that are less than 1. So all numbers that are less than 1 will have x is less than 1. Okay, because this means that all the x's that are less than 1 are going to be shaded. Okay, so if we write that out in words, it's just x is less than 1. Okay, if we use our notation, this time we're going from negative infinity to 1. Okay, and it's an open dot, so we have parentheses on both sides because it's infinity and it's open at 1. Okay, again, this last one is we're given the graph, and so we want to write this out using our notation. So we have everything, it looks like greater than -4. So I'm going to write this as x is greater than, it's greater than or equal to, because it's a closed dot, right? Greater than or equal to -4. So even though it's negative, we can still have greater than or equal to. Write out in words, x is greater than or equal to -4. Okay. Okay, and then using our notation, our endpoints here are -4 and positive infinity. That's a terrible infinity sign. And we can never reach infinity, so that's a parenthesis. And at -4 we do reach it because it's equal to, so we have a bracket there. Okay, that is it. I'll see you tomorrow.